I no longer use my bank account as a way to make myself feel bad or good. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, this is Andy with Mindset Matters More, and I have been committed lately to sharing insights with you guys that I'm getting. And as I'm reading this book that I got a while ago from the library and recently just purchased it because it made such an impact on my life, I have found that the insights that I get have not only impacted my coaching, but impacted my life in general, whether it's my relationship with my husband, my kids, my career. I know that seems like I just said that it's beyond that, but I think my coaching and my career are two very different things. And maybe one day I'll do a podcast about that. But I feel like you know, the insights that I get, I just apply them across the board, and it has really elevated my life to a different level. So that sentence about not using my bank account to be able to measure whether I'm doing good or bad really kind of hit home because there are many ways in which I determine whether I'm doing good or bad. Like, for instance, yesterday was Sunday. It was a nice sunny day, and I chose to stay in and relax. But a part of me was like, oh my God, what a loser. Like, why don't you have things to do? Why aren't you busy? Why is the only thing that you can come up with to do outside involve money, involve spending money, like shopping? Like, that's the default. So I just went down this rabbit hole of like beating myself up, and I was like, oh, I didn't get to enjoy the sun. I didn't get to enjoy the nature of life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, how is it that I am using a day of relaxation to beat myself up? How is it that I can feel guilty if I work all day and I don't go outside? How is it that I feel guilty if I'm outside all day and I didn't get to work? How is it that I'm guilty if I spend all day with my husband and didn't get to spend time with my kids? Why is it that I feel guilty if I spend time with my kids and I didn't spend time with my husband? Why is it that I feel guilty X, Y, Z? Like, I can't, I like, the marathon just happened. And the marathon of guilt is happening every day for me, okay? It's crazy. Like, I can use anything as a way to really beat myself up and make myself feel bad, ashamed, or that like I'm not doing life right. And so when I read that sentence, I was like, yeah, no, I totally do that. I totally do. Like, am I bringing in any money? That's great. I'm doing good. Oh, I didn't bring in any money this week. Man, I'm doing bad. But last week I was doing good. So all of a sudden I'm doing bad. Like, I'm using ways in order to manipulate how I feel. So this external concept of the things on the outside determine how I'm doing on the inside. That's not fair to me. I spend a lot of time focusing on meditation, journaling, prayer, and all that wonderful stuff. But like, to what end? If like I feel great for that hour in the morning and that hour before bed, but then the other, let's say, 14 hours of the day I spend it when judgment and anger and guilt and frustration, like, what's the point? What's the point? So it's not another like now here's the thing is that like now I can be like, oh my God, I've been beating myself up. Let me beat myself up about beating myself up. Like, it's this it's this sort of hamster wheel of guilt. And we want to break free. This is how I do it. Okay. First is to recognize that I'm doing it. That's the hard part, is this recognizing that I am in that cycle, that I am actually actively thinking poorly of myself, which is really hard because, in a sense, you have to become conscious of the thoughts. And not a lot of people are capable of doing that. But when you start to recognize, like, okay, I'm having these thoughts, and even if you still think they're real, even if you still believe them, just even recognizing that you're having them, like, oh, I'm believing this about myself, that's a huge step. The next thing is to stay to, work it out, to really just play it out in your head. You're like, okay, I spent all day inside. Okay, if that really means that I'm a lazy piece of shit, play it out, okay? I got up this morning, like, did I shower yesterday? Did I brush my teeth? Did I make food? Was I engaging with my family? Like, start to look at really what does being a lazy piece of shit mean? Really, what does it mean by, the things that you're beating yourself up with? Take those thoughts and really define them. What does that actually mean? Because when I examined yesterday, it's like, yeah, I was relaxing all day, but I work really hard. I needed a day to relax. I needed a day to just chill out and do nothing. I needed a day to, work on some smaller things that had nothing to do with my business. I needed the mental reset. And so that way today I could come and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing and I'm ready to go and I'm refreshed. And I'm like, was that in line with the thought of I'm a lazy piece of shit? And clearly it's not. So, okay, now I can discard that thought. But let's dig even deeper because first you gotta become conscious that you're having the thought. Two is actually play it out, define it, see what it is that's actually happening. Like, what is that thing that you're beating yourself up with? Does that show up in every piece of your life? Okay, so now that you've done those two things, let's talk about the last piece. And there's probably a whole bunch more steps or whatever, but now that you've recognized what you're doing, now that you recognize that it's not true, how can you prevent it in the future? Now you got to start recognizing these patterns. And this for me is where journaling comes in because I get to see the patterns. I get to say, oh my God, I've had these thoughts before. These are things that are happening over and over again. Okay, what's setting those off? I know that every Sunday I like to veg out and just chill, hang out with my husband, be spontaneous. Like, whatever happens, happens. Wherever we're going to go, we're going to go. If we don't go, we don't go. If we do, we do. And going from that and being like, okay, I know that Sundays are my day to just relax. I'm going to appreciate, I'm going to be grateful, I'm going to love, I'm going to care, I'm going to cherish every moment. And then that way you can start to reframe the things that trigger all those like bad thoughts before they actually happen. And that way you create a system to be able to get out of that stupid hamster wheel of guilt, which fucking sucks, man. Being like the number one beat, like emotional beater upper. I can't even think of the word. Like the emotional abusive person. That's what I was trying to say. The emotionally abusive person to myself is not fun at all. Like, how can I be kind to other people if I can't even be kind to myself? How can I be patient with other people if I can't be patient with other people? How can I be, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, if I can't do these things for myself, how can I be them for other people? And that's really what I want to be for people. I want to be patient, kind, loving, caring, allow them space to grow and be who they are. But I can't do that for myself. Make it make sense. So that was just my tip for the day. Recognizing that, like, there are different external things that are happening within you that you're using to beat yourself up. So be kind to yourself, notice what you're doing, reframe it, and start to notice the pattern so that you can prevent it from happening in the future. Remember, kids, only you can prevent forest fires of the brain. Okay? That's it for me, guys. And if you need some help with journaling, I'm putting a link to my book in the description, and I hope you guys get a chance to read it. Love you guys. Bye.